जो दिखा सके मुझसे शिद्दत, शायद ही खुदा की बनाई कोई ऐसी मूरत होगी। जो हरा दे मुझे और आगे बढ़ जाए, शायद ही किसी मुश्किल की ऐसी जुर्रत होगी। ऐसे लिखूंगा दिलों पे अपना नाम, देखेंगे जब तो सबको हैरत होगी। जिंदगी 4 दिन की है और किरदार मेरा छोटा है। जिंदगी 4 दिन की है और किरदार मेरा छोटा है। वादा करता हूँ कहानी बहुत खूबसूरत होगी।
Welcome one more time to our next episode on Passion Persuade. And today we have a very special guest, someone that I have seen growing along with me, someone with whom I have learned a lot, and someone with whom I have interacted to learn very deep philosophies of life. And it's a pleasure to have Gautam here with us. And
Thank
Gautam,
you.
I'm also aware of the fact that you also write Hindi poetry. So, how about starting this episode with few lines from your side today?
Thank you very much, Rajender. I think it's indeed a pleasure. But the way you introduced me, the audience must have been expecting someone with a long white beard. I don't think so. I have so many years of experience that I can give you some philosophies about life. I can share few of my thoughts and experiences. But like you said, let me begin with a short shairi first.
Sure.
This is something that I have crafted. I'm fond of writing it. It just sums up the journey of my life, how I look at life, and how I look at the role that I'm playing. And it says कि जो दिखा सके मुझसे शिद्दत, शिद्दत मीन्स पैशन, जो दिखा सके मुझसे शिद्दत, शायद ही भगवान ने ऐसी कोई दूसरी मूरत बनाई होगी। जो हरा दे मुझे और आगे बढ़ जाए, शायद ही ऐसी किसी मुश्किल की ज़रूरत होगी। किरदार छोटा है मेरा और ज़िंदगी 4 दिन की है। किरदार छोटा है मेरा और ज़िंदगी 4 दिन की है, पर वादा करता हूँ कहानी बहुत खूबसूरत होगी।
क्या बात है, क्या बात है, मज़ा आ गया। बिल्कुल, ज़िंदगी 4 दिन की है, लेकिन आपका किरदार काफ़ी बड़ा है. नो वंडर यू हैव बीन एक्सेप्शनली हाई पोटेंशियल टैलेंट, एंड in the just about 20 years of career where you have reached, I can confirm you that less than probably 2% people in the country reach where you have reached, Gautam. So it's a pleasure to have you one more time here.
Very humbled, but I must say that we all work hard. It's God's blessings, destiny, and your parents' blessings on you, which travel the journey. It's a circle that revolves around you when you come through obstacles in life, when you come through problems in life. And these are divine powers that come into play. Otherwise, everyone is working hard. And I don't know if I am in the 2% people, but yeah, I just want to be someone who is remembered for who he was after I'm gone.
Well, it's great to see that fire in the belly as you talk to me right now, and that triggers me a question that comes and say, "Hey, Gautam, you know, when I interacted with you, I'm mindful of the fact that you come from a very humble background. You never had a elite launching pad for yourself, no special pedigree from coming from a consulting world, and still you made it up to here very, very successfully with a lot of speed." I just want to understand from you, when you're growing up as a child, what are few things that your parent instilled in you, which is playing up in the role or the work that you do in life today?
राजेंद्र, एक कहावत है, जिनके घर में मिट्टी के घड़े होते हैं उनके घर छोटे लेकिन दिल बहुत बड़े होते हैं।
क्या बात है।
तो I come from Mangalore. I hail from Mangalore. My parents came to North India in early 80s, and they started right from scratch. They started from ground, and I'm a son of the soil, I must say. I do believe that hard work has no other shortcut. I've seen my parents doing that, and that's the first trait I saw.
So
when
hard
I
work
was young.
as a core value,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes, there is no shortcut to it, and like they say, luck favors those who work hard. I have seen my parents doing it every day, every minute of the day, every second of the minute. And I do feel that along with that, a lot of humility is also very important. As you grow in life, if this success gets into your head, you're finished. Or failure gets to your heart, it's finished. It's very, very important to stay grounded with all the hard work that you're doing. I saw my parents doing that, and I also saw the sense of humility that they had as they rose up the life. The next point that I saw them was demonstrating was integrity. I think a very high level of integrity. It is a virtue of life. It's the way we live life. And that is a very important trait as you grow up, because you may get tempted by a lot of things happening around you. You may get tempted by the pace at which people are growing, and you may feel that you're shortchanged. But never lose sight of the fact that there is some divine power, like I mentioned in the beginning also, which is watching all of it. In the end, it is not between you and me or me and someone else. In the end, it's about me and him. And that ledger is the biggest of all. So I do feel the fourth thing that I learned from my parents, and I deeply believe in it, is this entire concept of spiritualism and gratitude towards life and surrendering yourself to the divine power. That's where all the strength comes from. Many people think that if you pray and if you kind of surrender yourself to God, the tough times won't come. No, it's not like that. Actually, God gives you the strength to pass through those tough times. So if you pray to God about winning a race, it's not that God will give you a new pair of shoes. God will give you stronger legs so that you run and you practice. And over a period of time, you will realize that you're capable enough of winning the race. So, like I said, hard work, gratitude towards God, integrity, and humility. These are the four core values that I've learned from my parents, and I think they are deeply ingrained in me.
And the belief in God, because in the last couple of minutes, twice you mentioned about the divine
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to know, Gautam, where this thing started off. This whole philosophy, spirituality, where it started. Was it there with you, or it got triggered? Number one. And my number two question would be to say, hey, how this is playing up in work life. So what are some of the things of spirituality that you practice at work life?
Rajender, to be honest with you, these are very small things. I don't know if it resonates with you or the audience, but I have seen my father every morning when he gets up. He spends at least 1 hour, praying, just praying with full concentration. When my mom is cooking food or she is doing the household chores, there was a bhajan which was playing at the background. So I saw that, it's not taking out certain time of the day and surrendering yourself to God that ways. It's a parallel activity. You have to constantly keep reminding yourself and be grateful towards that supreme power. That was the first thing. So it's a daily routine that got embedded in me so early at life. I can still see it so vividly. If I close my eyes, I can see my mother working, doing the household chores in the kitchen, but there was bhajan playing at the background. So somewhere, you don't understand how is it shaping you up, but it's going deep. It's getting deeply ingrained in your mind. So that was one. Now, second, I do feel that when you are on the path of righteousness, when you are, when you believe that there is a divine power which is watching you all the time, then you tend to do good things.
You believe there's a God watching us all the time?
Yes, I do believe it.
And where this belief is coming from?
This belief comes from the fact that any time, even if the intent was wrong, but the action demonstrated was somewhat right, or even perceived right, I have seen wrong things happening to those people where the intent was wrong.
So you believe that if there's a difference in the, हम कहते हैं अगर हमारी सोच में और हमारे कर्म, हमारी सोच हमारा कर्म है, तो अगर हमारी सोच खराब है और हम एक्शन जितना मर्जी अच्छा कर लें, उसके रिजल्ट्स अच्छे नहीं आएंगे. That's what you
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Yeah?
आप दिल में जो फीलिंग रखते हैं ना, वो कहीं ना कहीं कन्वे यूनिवर्स में हो रही है. एंड इट ऑल कम्स बैक एज अ फुल सर्कल. आई गेट, हम सत्संग काफ़ी जाते थे. अभी सुनता हूँ, थोड़ा मम्मी के थ्रू सुनता हूँ, डायरेक्टली नहीं सुनता. बट उसमें एक छोटी सी स्टोरी मेरी मदर ने मुझे बताई थी कि एक राजा था. वो मार्केट जाता था अपने रथ में रोज़. तो एक सैंडलवुड बेचने वाला वहाँ पे, चंदन बेचने वाला एक शॉप थी वहाँ पे. वो जब भी उस शॉपकीपर को देखता था तो वो बोलता था कि इसको मुझे मार डालने का मन कर रहा है, इसको फांसी चढ़ा दो. बट वो क्रॉस करता था वहाँ से, कभी एक्शन नहीं लेता था क्योंकि कोई वजह नहीं थी ऐसा करने की. फिर एक दिन वो वापस आया और उसने अपने एक मंत्री को बुलाया और कहा कि ये बाज़ार में एक चंदन बेचने वाला बैठता है, उसको बुलाओ और उसका सर कलम कर दो. तो उन्होंने पूछा क्यों? तो बोला पता नहीं है, मुझे उसको देख के ऐसा मन करता है कि उसका सर कलम कर दूँ. तो मंत्री ने कहा ठीक है, आप मुझे एक दिन का मौका दीजिए, एक दिन का वक्त दीजिए, मैं आता हूँ उससे बात करके और फिर आपका जो हुक्म होगा वो हम उसका पालन करेंगे। तो वो जाता है चंदन वाले के पास और चंदन वाले से पूछता है कि जब राजा का रथ यहाँ से गुजरता है तो तुम्हारे मन में क्या विचार आते हैं? तो उस चंदन वाले ने कहा कि मैं हमेशा ये सोचता हूँ ये राजा कब मरेगा, क्योंकि जिस दिन ये मरेगा उस दिन मेरी सारी चंदन की लकड़ियाँ पिक जाएंगी। तो कभी दोनों के बीच में कोई बातचीत नहीं हुई. द वाइब्स दे ट्रैवल, they
Vibes
travel.
travel.
And it is very, very important that you keep your heart very clean. I attended a session from Robin Sharma, and he talks about 4 interior empires. Very powerful concept. He says that each one of us, no matter financially where do we stand, but each one of us have 4 empires. Okay, the first empire is the mindset. You read, you think, how you sharpen your mind, how you invest in yourself. This is very, very important because that shapes your mindset.
The mindset, the attitude.
The attitude. And how you invest in yourself to sharpen your mind. You must always look at learning new things. Be curious about life, and that shapes your mindset. The second empire is Heartset. Never hold any negative emotion in your heart. You know, when you hold a negative emotion in your heart, it starts reflecting on your health. It starts reflecting in your overall personality. And that will soon complete a full circle. And you will see that people are avoiding you, or people are reading you wrong, and people will have malicious intent and actions against you. So have a clean heart. Don't have any negative energy. The third one is Healthset. The third empire, Healthset. It is about having good health with you. That's the only thing that goes with you till your last breath. Your friends may leave, your parents may leave, your siblings may leave, your work may leave you, but it's your health which stays with you. That's an asset that you have that you need to preserve really, really well. And Robin made a very profound statement. He said, health is a crown on a well person's head that only an ill person can see. Imagine you have 10 things on your list today to do. And if your health goes wrong, that becomes the only priority for you. Absolutely. All other 10 things you forget. So the third one is health set, and you must be absolutely fully aligned and very mindful about your health. And the last one, the most important one, is soul set. Do something for people who can't give back to you, who can't reciprocate to you what you have done for them. When you usually do it for people who can reciprocate, you start expecting that I did something for Rajender, one day Rajender will return this favor to me. But the real joy and happiness comes from giving something to people or those individuals who can't repay it back to you. That's the real form of joy, and that nourishes your soul. So 4 empires: mindset, health set, heart set, and soul set.
Beautiful.
I think these 4 empires everyone should nourish. And when you nourish all 4 of them, now I'm coming to the second part of your question, you become a good human. And I do believe a leader can't be better than the kind of human he is. If you want to be a good leader, be a good human first. And what does it require to be a good human? Clearly, I mean, when I interact with my teams, there is a human dimension that comes to play. And by the way, it's a very tightrope walk. One of the leaders that I work with, he uses a term called funambulist, who does this tightrope walk and balancing. As a leader, you have to be a funambulist. There is a goal that you have to achieve, which is time-based, time-bound, and at the same time, you have to be human also. So if you become too goal-focused, you tend to end up hurting humans. If you're being too human-centric, you may end up missing the goal. So it's a tightrope walk. But if you are a good human, you will always balance the two. If you end up giving a tough time to someone for the outcome they have to deliver, you will make sure that before the sun sets, you will call the person and you will ask the person how the person is feeling, or you will have your own small ways to kind of settle it. Maybe an informal setup, you will apologize and you will tell the person what you really value about him. But that's the balance that a leader always has to maintain, and that part of my human side usually plays at my work. I don't want to be the most populist guy at work, but I want to be someone who is affable. I want to be someone who people see and say that he's a hardworking guy. He is very sincere. He has highest levels of integrity. He's outcome focused, so he's ambitious also. But at the same time, he's a good person to be with, to hang around with. And I can confide myself in him. If you achieved that kind of state as a leader, then I think you're a good leader.
That's so beautifully said, and I never read about the four empires that
Empires.
you spoke about. It's so beautifully done up. In fact, जब आप मुझसे बात कर रहे थे तो मुझको याद आया कि हमारे वेदास में भी कहा है पंच कोशास के ऊपर द 5 एनर्जी फील्ड्स and Robin Sharma is also talking the 4 energy field, because when all those 4 energy fields are interconnected and they're fully aligned, then you get the 5th energy field that called the Anandamaya Kosh. That means that's the way a true human being
Absolutely.
connected with the divine is always there. So Gautam, that's a very profound, deep way to build yourself as a true leader. But I'm just keen to know. We all make mistakes in life, and one of the things you mentioned, one of the empires that you said one has to build is the heart empire, right? Dil,
Heartset.
Heartset. So when you make a mistake, your heart is always heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do carry. When you're growing up, you do carry grudges. You do carry past baggages. What are the things you have done, or what are the ways you clean up your heart? How do you keep your heart so clean all the time?
There is no easy answer to it. A lot of learning comes from life through experiences. When we were small, our parents used to tell us, don't touch that glass, it's hot. We would have not listened. But when we would have touched it and burnt a hand, even a
Then
tiny
we learned,
bit,
yeah.
we learn about it. So I think when learnings come in form of an advice, we do register them, but we don't deploy them at our life. So some bit of negativity, when you are being very competitive, it is a competitive world, by the way. I do feel that morally, somewhere, the world is not moving in the right direction. There have to be a higher set of morals. I think short-term profitability, quarterly results, a lot of companies are being driven by it. And the larger purpose of serving someone is taking a backseat. I'm currently working with Access Max Life, and one of the reasons why I joined this company and I'm having the longest stint in this company is because of the nature of work that this company is doing. I may not get daily an opportunity to go and serve someone, but this business is something which is helping people give financial independence when someone from their life is gone. So imagine yourself walking into a home where the daily bread earner has passed away, and the family is completely shattered, and you as a representative of the company reach there with a check at hand. And when you do that, there is an emotion that you go through. I don't think so any paycheck can replace that emotion. And when you go through that emotion, it's like a drug. You want it every time. You feel so good about the fact that you are doing something which is impacting the life of people. And so when you relive these emotions time and again, you get pure at heart. You realize that there is much more joy in this. So when we are growing up, there is so much of competitiveness. There is so much of greed. There is so much of pace that we
Sometimes
are,
jealousy comes into, right?
jealousy
Yeah,
that comes into play. I make sure that I'm spending enough time with myself. There is no better judge of your actions during the day than you yourself. When I feel very heavy, and we all know that when we are feeling heavy, there is a Sai Baba temple that I usually go to. I just go and sit there, and those interactions are very deep.
So Gautam, I'm aware of the fact that you believe in God resides in us. भगवान तो हमारे अंदर ही है.
Yeah.
आप कहते हैं हम ब्रह्मासी, मेरे अंदर ही कृष्णा है. आप कृष्णा में बिलीव करते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
So one of the ways you clean up is you let go your baggages by talking to your God, right?
Yes. So I usually follow this practice that whenever I'm feeling heavy, and there is no timing to it, कि हफ्ते में एक बार जाना है या महीने में एक बार जाना है. It can be 3 days consecutively in a row. But when you feel heavy, when you have that emotional baggage that you did something wrong, and you're not feeling good about yourself, you just go and I usually go to this Sai Baba temple. It's very close, and the entire ambience and the entire vibe of that place just calms me down. It kind of helps me drop my guards and just have an honest interaction with myself. And then I feel ashamed. but then I also feel more energized to go and correct my actions the next day. I'm more mindful of this not happening again. I think those honest conversations are a very good way to clean yourself up. Like I said, people will come, people will tell you. Sometimes you may feel they're being very preachy. Go and practice yourself first before you tell me. Uh, all those things kept aside, just be true to yourself. And if you have a place where you can have an honest conversation, where you can just drop your guards and talk to yourself, just visit that place more often. You will shape up as a better person.
Oh, that's very profound and deep around it, Gautam. And I like to move to the next part of my conversation with you
Yeah.
today. I'm aware of the fact that you started with Metro Cash and Carry. You
The Walmart.
at Walmart, sorry, my apologies. Your competitors, I mentioned about it. So you started with Walmart,
Yeah.
and then from there, when you were just managing a team of 2 people,
Yeah.
today you're managing a team of 20 people, large organization, 23,000, 25,000 people that you're impacting altogether, right? What has changed from 20 years ago HR and the HR today?
Well, a lot has changed actually. While I do feel that I'm very blessed, I was at the right place at the right time. The organizations that I've worked with, uh, HR always had seat at the table. But HR was more seen as a partner where where you're walking shoulder to shoulder. You're expected to be strategic, but once in a while, even if you're not, the currency is not lost. When I look at HR today, you are expected to lead, not just walk shoulder to shoulder. Be two steps ahead. Look at how the organizations are shaping and play an active role in shaping the organization that you're working for. Understand the talent trends ahead of time. It's not that once you reach a particular stage of the organization journey, you start reflecting on what to do next. You have to be ahead in the game. Second, I do feel that HR was more an enabling function. It is more a business function now. You have to make sure that whatever you are doing has a direct impact on not only on the lives of the employees but also on the trajectory of the organization. You have to work towards growth. HR has to be an able partner in driving productivity, efficiency, lowering costs, on spans and structures, on working on first principles, be a challenger, be a conscience keeper, and at the same time, stay human and relevant to the kind of audience that you're working for.
So Gautam, that's very, very deep. You said HR has to lead, HR has to be business partnering altogether, HR need to have a seat on the table, and HR also need to be the so-called person taking people along with them. So all the young HR folks who are starting their career today or who are say about 7, 8 years into the career, what are the 3 or 4 things? I would say 4. Zig Ziglar says if you focus more than 3, you will achieve 90%. If you focus on 3, you achieve all 100%. So I'll say focus on 4 today. What are 4 things that you tell young HR guys to focus to shape up their career for future ready?
By the way, let me tell you, it's a phase that everyone goes through. When I was young, I was also told the same things. Those 4 things haven't changed.
Okay.
Because there is a stage of life, and there are certain traits that come with that stage. You try to push it too hard, that the traits that have to come at a matured stage come early. It's not going to happen. You stay in that stage for too long and carry those traits for too long, you will become irrelevant. Life has its own way of just balancing the entire equation. So I'm going to say the same 4 things which I believe have worked for me, and I would say that it's very relevant for the young professionals today. First, be resilient. I think when someone puts you through a grind, don't think that there is some kind of a score settling that has happened. Like I mentioned in the first conversation, the first question that you asked, there is no substitute to hard work. Just deploy yourself. I see all the youngsters being in a rush to make it fast, make it soon. There is no race. There is no race which is happening. Everyone, um, again, there is a blend of spirituality that comes in here. Ye Rajender, where were you born?
Bangalore.
I was born in Bangalore.
Mangalore.
I was born in Gurgaon. My
Gurgaon,
parents are
okay.
from Mangalore. We are sitting today on in July of 2026 uh, at this place, which is neither yours nor mine. Exact hour of the day. This is all destined. It's all working with the clock that has to happen.
You believe that?
I do believe that. I do believe that. And there is a associated question also that comes obviously in mind, which I'll talk about later. But I do believe that everything is written so well, it's so destined so well that you can't change it. You can't change it. You will have to go through it. So when now come back to the question that you asked. Everyone has come with the prarabdh that you have.
So speak about Pravda again more. Little bit. It's a word that not many people will understand.
सो हम किस्मत जनरली बोलते हैं उसको जितनी मेरी समझ है मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि प्रारब्ध इज मोर डीपर देन दैट इट्स अ सम अप ऑफ योर कर्मास ऑफ द पास्ट things that you have to carry to this birth and from here to the next birth and there is some connection to your previous life also. हम जनरली किस्मत बोल के छोड़ देते हैं. किस्मत से ज़्यादा प्रारब्ध मुझे लगता है इज़ अ मोर अप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड. तो हम सब अपना एक प्रारब्ध लिखवा के आए हैं. जो हमारी एक जर्नी है हमें वो जर्नी पूरी करनी है. उस जर्नी में जो बॉटलनेक्स आने हैं, जो हर्डल्स आने हैं वो आएंगे. बट इट्स अ फुल सर्कल. वो चले भी जाएंगे. व्हेन द गुड टाइम्स डोंट स्टे, द बैड टाइम्स डोंट आइदर. और एक ऐसा टाइम आएगा जब जब आप जहाँ पहुँचना चाहते हैं आप वहाँ पहुँच जाएंगे. कुछ लोग थोड़ा जल्दी पहुँचते हैं अपने प्रारब्ध के हिसाब से, कुछ लोग थोड़ा लेट पहुँचते हैं. बट ये कंपटीशन नहीं है कोई. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सबको थोड़ा सा रिजिलियंट होना चाहिए. दैट यू स्टे इन दिस जर्नी पेशेंटली. यू जस्ट वर्क ऑन योर सेल्फ. Things will come sooner or later. So that is first trait, which is
Resilience.
being resilient. Second is be a learner. Have a white belt mentality, like I said. In karate, when you go, you start with a white belt, right? Have a white belt mentality because it's very important to continuously learn. If you think that you know it all, you're very close to the doomsday. और ये होता है जनरली. कई आपने ये सुना भी होगा, विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. ये कभी कभी आ जाता है दिमाग में कि आई नो एवरीथिंग, आई नो इट ऑल, आई एम द मास्टर ऑफ माई सब्जेक्ट मैटर. But you know, there is always someone in the world who is more knowledgeable than you. And when you have deep knowledge, when you know it all, um, this restlessness at the surface, it settles. It settles. There's a quote that says, "A wise man once said nothing." Wise people, they just keep quiet because after they have understood, they just go quiet. एक शेर है जो मेरे प्रीवियस CHRO ने बोला था किसी के लिए, बट मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वो, कि कहता है शोरे दरिया से समंदर का सकूत. शोरे दरिया, दरिया जो होता है वो बहुत शोर करता है, झरना. और समंदर जो होता है वो शांत होता है ना. तो कहता है शोरे दरिया से समंदर का सकूत, जिसमें जितना ज़र्फ है, डेप्थ, वो उतना ही खामोश. तो जब आप समंदर के बिल्कुल बीच में जाएंगे ना, जहाँ इट्स द डेप्थ गोज इन माइल्स, यू विल सी इट्स वेरी काम एट द सरफेस. एंड इट्स नॉट अबाउट झरना एंड समंदर, इट इज़ अबाउट ह्यूमन बींग्स ऑल्सो. So I do believe that one should have a learner's mentality. Don't think that you know it all. Be open for any kind of criticism that comes your way, and that ties into the resilient part that I said. And the third virtue and trait, like I always say, gratitude. If you are always grumbling and complaining, you will attract a similar scenario more often. If you are in a habit of thanking, and if you're learning from every adversity that comes your life, you give it a positive spin, I do feel that you go a long way. You are a better human and you're a more happy person. And when you're a happy person, you infect others with happiness, just like fever. You know, अगर मैं अभी मुझे कोल्ड कफ है तो मैं आपको पास ऑन कर सकता हूँ, इसी तरह मैं हैप्पीनेस भी पास ऑन कर सकता हूँ. और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हमें उन लोगों के साथ ज़्यादा रहना चाहिए जो हमें हैप्पीनेस देते हैं, और हमें वैसा बनना चाहिए जहाँ हम दूसरों को हैप्पीनेस दे सकें. वसुदेव कुटुंबकम इज़ नॉट जस्ट अ फ्रेज फॉर मी. I do believe that there is God in everyone. There is a good side in everyone. Some people understand it late. Some people understand it soon. The ones who understand it sooner have a responsibility to play their part and see if that learning and that realization can come faster.
Beautiful. So you're saying resilience. You're speaking about
Being a learner,
being a learner, being a
and then
curious
gratitude,
learner,
and then gratitude.
and the gratitude.
Yeah.
These are all basically reflecting on the working on the self.
Yeah.
Is putting the camera inward.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And therefore, my question before we wrap up this session right now, or this, how does one cultivate, if I'm not born with this attitude of gratitude, or if my learning agility is not as high as I want to be, is something that you like to recommend to youngsters what they can do to activate these three things?
You are an average of 5 people you sit with.
Wow.
Okay. So if something appeals you, and if anyone who is looking at hearing this podcast and is a witness to this podcast, if there is any realization, even 1% that happens, and you relate with it, then find those other 4 people or 5 people that you're going to sit with, effective, immediate.
Wow.
I think there is a lot of learning and a lot of realization comes with the kind of company you keep. This is a short story that I would like to share here, and I heard about it today only, actually. So a group of flies, they come to the moth, parwana, Urdu mein bolte hain parwana. So a group of flies, they come to the moth and they say that, we also have wings. We're just like you, more or less. Then why is it that you get such a grand status and stature, not us? बिकॉज आपको तो परवाना बोलते हैं, हमें मक्खी बोलते हैं, तो मतलब वो सुनने में भी उतना अपीलिंग नहीं लगता है. तो ऐसा क्यों है कि आपको इतना ग्रैंड स्टेटस मिलता है, मुझे नहीं? तो वो बोलता है कि मेरा पर्पज़ है लाइफ का, एक मैं रोशनी ढूंढने जाता हूँ. आई लुक फॉर लाइट. सो वाई डोंट यू गो एंड लुक फॉर लाइट, एंड देन वी विल डिसाइड वाई डोंट यू गेट दिस स्टेटस और नॉट. So all the flies go, they say, okay, fine, this is a challenge accepted. So they go through the towns and the cities and the places, and they come back after a couple of hours and they say that we have found a lot of light, in bulbs and tube lights and candle lights and chandeliers and whatnot. So there is sunlight, there is so much of light all around. Now let the moths come back, let your army come back, and then you decide who is the winner. The moth says that well, the decision is already made, and they don't understand the entire verdict. So they ask, why do you say so that the decision is made? And the moth says that if you found the light, why did you come back?
Wow. That's so profound.
The light actually consumes you, and that light is enlightenment in our context.
Yes.
It's just a metaphor that I'm using. In our context, it's enlightenment. Once you find your purpose, why will you come back to your daily grind and rut? It is something which is much higher. It's a much higher calling than what you're currently doing. And once you find it, it gives you the energy, and you consume yourself in it completely. So, to your question, when you said that how do we make sure if for someone it doesn't come naturally, how do you cultivate it,
how do you
activate
cultivate?
it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the only one of the ways that has worked for me is if it clicks with me, I try and find more people who resonate with that kind of a thought process, and then when I'm amidst them, my average understanding goes up, and I become more curious, and I follow things that they follow, and which has made them like the way they are. And because I admire them, I have a higher purpose, I have a higher calling to be like them. And then gradually my circle goes up, and then I come into their circle. And so this circle of life goes upwards. It goes in upward spiral. And that's one way that works beautifully. If you find that set of 5 people, then you are on the right track.
Yeah, हमारे शास्त्रों में कहा गया है संग का रंग. The company that you keep is the way you shape up in life so beautifully. Gautam, I'm just curious and want to close this podcast. I'm also very inspired by you, the way you take care of your parents. Right? Very, very inspired. And I'm aware of the fact that you spend a lot of time talking to them. So I understand you do it as a. But what's the thought behind this? Where is this need? Everybody have parents, and I know young children who take care of the parents very well. I know old children of my age who take care of the parents very well, and there are also people who don't take care of the parents very
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
So, anything you like to say? Where, first of all, what, how do you do that? How do you take out time? And second is, what is the message for all the folks who have parents who are growing with them?
Yeah. जब हम छोटे थे ना, तो हमारे संस्कृत में ये काफ़ी अर्ली क्लासेस में आ जाता है, मातृदेवो भव और पितृदेवो भव, है ना? तो ये किसी वजह से ही बोला गया है. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दे आर, when once you become a parent, I'm a parent now, by the way, there is a degree of selflessness that comes once you become a parent, and you want the best for your child. It's the purest form of love, where all your selflessness goes for a toss. You only think about the other person, and that kind of a relationship has to be truly nurtured and valued. मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स को देखा है. दे हैव स्पेंट देयर एंटायर यूथ working hard so that I get the right kind of education, I go to the good schools, I get the right colleges, and they have always instilled those right values in me. I do feel it's my responsibility, not just out of love, but also as their child, to really make them proud and make them feel good and take care of them. Because I do feel that the time is a very constrained resource that all of us have. जैसे जैसे हम बड़े होते हैं, हमारे पेरेंट्स ओल्ड होते जाते हैं. एंड बाय द वे, दैट्स माय बिगेस्ट फियर ऑफ लाइफ एज वेल, दैट आई डोंट नो, मुझे ऐसा लगता है छत उड़ जाएगी मेरे सर से किसी दिन जब कभी ऐसा होगा. बट मैं बाद में रिग्रेट नहीं करना चाहता. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम सब काम को सेंटर स्टेज बना लेते हैं. Work is not center stage. I have seen there are immense number of examples that we all see in our life. We don't know if we'll get up tomorrow. So with that kind of a uncertainty that we're dealing with, wouldn't you want to reciprocate back to people who have really been selfless to you? I think it's a very noble thing. It is something I would urge everyone to do that. Talk respectfully to your parents. Spend good time with them. I don't think so I spend a lot of time with them, by the way. But in my heart, I do want to. Be affectionate towards them. When they grow old, they may do a lot of things that like you used to do in your childhood. Ask more, questions out of innocence and all. But I think the way they kind of tolerated all your innocence, you don't have to tolerate, but you have to really appreciate and be more humble and more, you have to adjust yourself towards it. I think it's your responsibility, it's your duty. There is no other answer to it. And once you do that, you will realize that the sense of service that you're doing, you will not regret after they are gone. Time is a constraint. They are aging. There is no point crying later. I could have done this or that. Do when the time is right, when you have time at your hand.
It's a sense of responsibility to take care of your parent. That's a big message Gautam is giving to all of us. Gautam, before we wrap up this, anything that you like to say, few lines from your poetry that really resonates with you and truly resonates today with what we discussed on this podcast?
सर, ऐसे तो बहुत सारी लाइनें हैं, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वन ऑफ अगेन माय अर्लियर CHRO हु आई हैव वर्कड विद, उनका एक छोटा सा शेर है जो छोटा है, 2 ही लाइनों का है, बट बड़ा ही इम्पैक्टफुल है. कि जिंदगी 2 लफ्ज़ों में अर्ज़ है.
जिंदगी 2 लफ्ज़ों में अर्ज़ है.
आधी कर्ज है और आधी फ़र्ज़ है.
वाह.
ठीक है, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वी आर रियली ब्लेस्ड दैट गॉड हैज़ गिवन अस एन एबल बॉडी. गॉड हैज़ गिवन अस द इंटेलेक्ट. वी शुड यूज़ इट टू डू राइट थिंग्स. वी शुड डू गुड टू अदर्स, बी अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग, टेक केयर ऑफ योर पेरेंट्स, टेक केयर ऑफ योर फैमिली एंड फ्रेंड्स, improve your average, the circle that you sit in, who lift you up. And कुछ आप अपना प्रारब्ध लेके आए हो, वो आधा आपका कर्ज है जो आपको अदा करना है, और बाकी का आधा आपका फ़र्ज़ है जो आपको पूरा करना है जाने से पहले. सो दैट्स हाउ आई वुड सम इट अप.
दैट्स सो ब्यूटिफुल गौतम. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेशली द लास्ट लाइन दैट यू स्पोक अबाउट इट, प्रारब्ध आप लेके आए हैं, आधा वो कर्ज है और आधा आपका फ़र्ज़ है जो आपको ज़िंदगी में
पूरा
निभाना
करके
है,
जाना
पूरा
है.
करके जाना है, उसके बगैर तो जिंदगी कंप्लीट नहीं होने वाली है. What a wonderful way to close this podcast. That was Gautam Rao for us, and I'm sure we look forward to having more interactions in times to come with him. But Gautam, just like to say big thank you.
Pleasure is all
And
mine.
I have
Thank
reasons
you.
to believe that you will continue to touch and inspire millions and millions of people
I'll try.
in times to come.
I'll try.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Rajender.